All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rachel's Leadership Lounge, a space for honest conversations about leadership, about growth, and about becoming. And today's conversation is actually one I've really been looking forward to because we have been talking about one of the biggest shifts happening in leadership and learning right now, AI. Okay. And the future of work and what it truly means to build future ready leaders. So today I've got someone who is absolutely perfect to talk to about this. I'm joined by Radhika Paul. She is a globally experienced human capital and transformation leader with more than 25 years of experience helping organizations unlock people's potential and prepare leaders for what's next. Her expertise spans beyond leadership development. She also does organizational design, future ready workforce, strategy, learning technology, and AI consulting, which is why I'm so glad she's here. She's been operating on the cutting edge of these conversations long before AI became the headline of the moment. So we are so glad to help. Please welcome Radhika Paul. So glad
Thank
you're
you.
here.
Thank you. Thank you, Rachel. I am beyond thrilled to be a part of this wonderful show, wonderful conversation with you, which comes very deeply from my heart because you are such an enabler, a thought leader, not only in the human capital world, but for leadership development as such, especially in a moment where we sit, where leadership development itself is evolving into many different styles and ways and means. So thank you so much for having me. And I can't wait for our splendid discussion today.
Oh, it's going to be splendid. I mean, if I had a quarter, Radhika, for every time I heard the word AI, I'd be a multimillionaire. Would I be a billionaire by now? I think we'd both be billionaires. I mean, there's so much conversation around AI right now. And so I wanted to ask you because you see so many different leaders across so many different industries. What do you think leaders are fundamentally misunderstanding about AI?
Rachel, the first thing that leaders are thinking very differently about AI is to jump into AI. They are thinking about bringing technology into the organization, which is a great thing. However, they are missing the element of people first. That is where the AI journey needs to start for it to be successful. And I see many leaders do that as well in organizations where we've seen the leadership really be successful with AI is when they have brought in the people first. They have included people at step one. They have talked about how AI can reduce the pain points or take that away completely, evolve work into higher level work. That is when true success has happened. So, leadership, where leadership brings the AI evolution through the people, with the people, is
Yeah.
where success happens.
I see. So we need to include the people at all stages. And I want to revisit what you said is some of these organizations are jumping in too fast, but are there also some organizations that are too slow to jump onto AI? What do you think?
So yes, that's again an interesting question because on one side there are organizations who are leading with FOMO because it is like, oh my God, am I missing something? And is my competitor going to get the edge? I have to answer my board. I have to show numbers. Every single organization, whether it is publicly listed or private, we are seeing this, and I see this day long. There is now an AI, almost like an AI question that the board or the chair or the leadership team has, which is a big part. Where are we on our AI journey? How many departments are a part of that? So there is definitely that which is accelerating
Yeah.
leaders to jump onto the AI journey. However, there are others which are taking that pause to say, I don't know if I really want to make that investment. What is, my competitor doing? Let them
Hmm.
do it, let them develop, and we learn from them.
Hmm.
However, there are fewer of those cases that I am seeing, and I am seeing more of the cases where companies want to jump in. At least they want to have a conversation. They may not want to sign the SOW, but
Yeah.
say, "Oh, let's just wait to see," but they want to keep that conversation definite.
I see. So some are they're experiencing FOMO. I love this word. I am pressured by the chair of the board of directors, wondering where are they on it. So that creates pressure. And then fewer companies, even though they do exist, some of those fewer companies are saying, no, let my peers venture out first and we'll benchmark off of that so they can fail and fall and iterate, and then we'll come in behind and learn from that. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Beautiful. Well, I think there's a lot of fear around AI. I'm sure you hear this so much in your line of work. And I wonder what fears are valid, actually valid, versus what's overblown, Radhika, that isn't really a problem at all. What do you think?
Think that one of the things that is really overblown is the technology element of it. I think what is happening is everyone is getting drowned with the tech speak around it. And that is something which is consuming organizations, and everything is becoming about technology. Everything is becoming about the element of whether it is going to be, if I, brought in Gemini, is tomorrow going to be another version of Gemini? Is I don't want to be naming too many of the AI tools, but if whatever tool I brought in for whichever department, is it going is tomorrow going to be the next version? And I bought a dated version? Is one better than the other? Is the competitor's version better than the other? So I think there is a lot of overwhelm that leaders are facing. There's an exhaustion. There is a tech exhaustion around this, and which is the reason why the technology, oftentimes when you find it hard, the psychological tendency is to push that to a department where you think the technology department understands. But for the
And do
first
they?
time, yeah, and do they? That's exactly, for the first time in history, I love the fact that for the first time in history, we are all beginners, because the AI journey is something about, yes, it started about a decade ago, but for about 4 years ago is when we all started getting into this beginner stage, and we were all together in in this. The part that I also think which is getting overblown, like the Industrial Revolution,
Hmm.
like when you had the internet came in. It is not that the technology is, yes, it's going to amplify the way we do work, because it is to take our work and transform that work to the next level. When internet came in, the admins no longer needed a typewriter. They could do
Yeah.
their work faster, smoother, quicker, sharper, more evolved with a computer. So
Right.
the same way, everything is going to evolve to the next level, and that is a fear. We need to understand that it, the sooner we are all able to work in an environment where we understand how we work with AI and AI as an amplifier to our work. It is an augmented layer to what we do, the sooner we will be successful. So I hope that answered
Yeah.
your.
Yeah. There's a lot of overwhelm around the tools, is what I'm hearing. And this is typical, right? Of course, they want to be on the cutting edge and have the best one. So, and I love that you're like, I'm not going to name them because who knows what they'll be in a month or in 6 months, right? So there's always wanting to have the best one or the most robust one. And then also I'm hearing it's just there's a little bit too much overblown tech talk around it. Which model is the best? Which one does this? This one is better than that one. And then they also have subscription tiers. So I'm sure they are tying costs to some of those questions as well. Am I getting that right?
Absolutely. And again, this is not an easy process for organizations to go through. So that exhaustion from, constant exhaustion from AI speak, at the same time, people are very worried about their jobs and whether AI is coming to get their jobs. And yet people have families and people have children at home. People have to put meals on the table, have to, you know, get everything going. So it is a time which is a time that creates a lot of anxiety for the humans. So I think the less we create the tech exhaustion and the more it is thought about it in a systematic manner and bringing people together, the more successful not only organizations are going to be, people are going to be, because happy people make happy organizations.
And they adopt some of those practices, right? I can hear what you're saying. Let's say you're in the tech department. Let's say you're in a CIO of an organization. Inside, you may be concerned about how AI is going to impact people, but yet externally, you have to be an advocate for it, a sponsor for it. You've got to be at the leading front of it. Is that what you mean? Wow. Well, I really want to ask you this because you and I both operate in leadership development, and before we jumped on the call here, we were talking about how it's changing leadership development these days. So I would love to ask you, how do you think AI is reshaping leadership development itself?
Very foundation, Rachel, the way a leader operates has is on this continuous shift. Leaders now need to be more curious than ever.
Yeah.
They need to drive innovation. They not only need to be innovators, they need to drive teams that innovate, teams that are into a mode of rapid experimentation more than ever before, where teams are not taking a year to learn, oh, this failed, fail fast.
Yeah.
So experiment, fail fast, and learn what works and what does not work. Team leaders also evolve in have are evolving into creating psychological safety. You and I both heard this term a lot over the last 5 years. I think
Yes.
more than ever.
Yes.
It is about creating that psychological safety where the person who is doing the clicks in the organization actually is the closest person to whether AI is going to be successful or not. Do they have a say to say that this particular AI augmentation layer is not okay or needs
Mhm.
XYZ tweaks, needs to be adopted differently for our organization? Do they have that psychological safety to be able to speak? Trust, trusting, trust among peers, trust among leadership team members, trust between the manager and the team member. I think
Right.
360 trust more than anything is what leadership is evolving to. Also, leaders are no longer just directors or protectors of jobs. they are creators and amplifiers and reskillers of new jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Even within the organization, as AI comes into the organization, it is going to create so many newer roles. Are leaders really thinking about that and thinking, how can I upskill, reskill, think differently, or what skills are going to be needed? So leadership is going through a massive change
Yeah.
right now in what I call the AI era. And the last thing I will say, the most important one is not to equip people to work in the AI era, because AI is going to do a lot of work. How do you think collaborate in the AI era is going to determine what kind of leader are you? Are you a leader who takes people into the future, or do you stagnate them?
I love this. Thank you so much. This is why I had to have you on because people need to hear this, right? AI can make things more effective, more efficient, quickly, but it can't do certain things like leading people, influencing people, and my favorite, Radhika, coaching and mentoring. What happens to coaching and mentoring in this AI era for leaders?
In the coaching and mentoring, to a certain element, again, for being you know, for being a little bit disruptive, some of it can happen and is happening right now with AI. However, one of the things AI cannot do, it cannot feel. It cannot feel what we as humans feel in terms of emotions and react, see around the corners. So I'll give you an example. A lot
Okay.
of company at the moment, there are AI tools that are being built to coach and mentor. They're great at an
Right.
entry level.
Yeah.
However, you and I both as coaches for decades know this, that things that are often discussed after 2, 3 meetings, and someone who's come to you for a specific area to be coached is not even that area that is
Nope.
actually creating the entire issue.
Yep. Yep.
It is like, as you peel the onion and you go deeper into it, that is where you find the real essence. And that comes when you are able to see around the corners. And that is what AI can never do. The
Absolutely.
emotions that you tap in, the body language that you tap in. Why did this person do this? When I said this person reacted in this way.
Mhm.
What was, what is going on? So that is where I really see coaching and mentoring actually going not just up. The basics will be taken care by AI. However, the high end coaching and tying into that, the entire piece around mental health and well being. As
Yes.
people become more and more engaged to technology, the big element of how you network, how you engage with one human to another will be a big piece. And I want to say on your show today that 3 years down the line, this is going to be a big area of focus within humankind.
Wow. Oh my goodness. You heard it here first on Rachel's Leadership Lounge. Sounds like emotional intelligence is what you're pointing toward is going to be so incredibly important for leaders as AI continues to scale and as people continue to use it because it's discernment is what I'm hearing, intuition is what I'm hearing, seeing around the corner, the ability to read body language. Those are things that AI can't do. AI cannot feel. That is so incredibly important. And then with leadership development, you said it's going to be important to have psychological safety so that leaders can feel prepared enough, feel safe enough to say, hey, I don't think this particular layer should have AI embedded into it and be able to feel comfortable speaking up. Did I get both of those right?
Absolutely, Rachel. You and I are both moms, and we know that when you have children, right? And you look at any child, many of the times we catch what is not spoken to us. The same thing is true for coaching and mentoring.
Yes. Yes, I can always tell when my 6-year-old is lying to me. Even if she tries to hide it, I can tell. She's just got her own little idiosyncrasies, just like we all do. And that human element, I believe, is going to become a non-negotiable, where leaders will soon be assessed on their emotional IQ, where when hiring or onboarding, human skills are going to be asked about, reviewed, measured, because they're gonna be that much more important. Are you seeing that at all?
Seeing that a lot, it's something super interesting as you think about the healthcare industry, right? And you specifically think about physicians. One of the key things that physicians now are being trained for is the emotional side of it, because a lot of the surgeries are now going to be done and are being done currently through robotics. So what does it mean for the life of a physician and how they engage with patient care, tapping into the emotions of. So it is such an interesting time that we are seeing not just in big corporations, we are seeing in fields which were considered the
Yeah. Yeah.
non-emotional, just very highly technical fields. I
Yeah.
am seeing that with healthcare professionals. I'm seeing that with legal professionals. I am seeing that with scientists. I work a lot with academia, and one of the things that as I tap into academia to bring their work and knowledge and research, all of that is pointing towards the fact that organizations which at this moment in time are really focused on developing their leaders, along with creating that element of evolving their leadership development, are really going to be successful in the future.
Oh, I love this. I never thought about that. I didn't think about some of those industries that typically aren't very people focused, not that they don't have to be, but they just by nature weren't. And now because of AI, that has taken some of the brunt of the work away, and now the majority of their work is people facing. And now they've got to shift how that looks. How interesting. Wow, so you're a doctor, and you need leadership development. Radhika and I are here. Well,
No, I know. I mean, it is so interesting because I come from a family of so many physicians, and I
yeah.
always laugh at that. And I'm like, okay, now you guys, your amygdala needs to, which you talk about, just like as brain surgeons, you are going to be tapping into it.
Yes, the amygdala. I love it. Oh my goodness. I love it. Well, Radhika, I could go on and on about AI, but I want to focus now on you, right? I know that you've had such a beautiful career and built it yourself, and you've spent years helping organizations prepare for their futures. But I'm curious, how has the AI evolution or the AI era shaped you personally as a leader?
That is such a loaded question.
Sorry.
I no, and I really, I think I grew up, and yet I am a complete baby. So I am both. And that's how I feel about my leadership, because one side, I think going on my own to have my own firm has required me to pull from so many different skill sets that I learned over 25 years. So leaning into my days from Six Sigma, right? That entire process mapping, leaning into my days from lean, pulling in from that. Um, Leadership development, how people think, talent management, learning basics of compensation, benefits, recruitment,
Right.
technology, supporting different technologies. How do people work? I think it has just been so powerful from that perspective, putting myself in the shoes of thinking, when I thought about leaders who've made me really shine, what did they do differently?
Right.
What did leaders do who really I wanted to leave and run? What did they do? Right.
Yeah.
So I think all of that, along with learning AI, and one of the things I said earlier on your show was I'm not going to name any particular tool because we at Human AI Consulting are tool agnostic. We help our clients use and tell them which tool to use, which is best for them. It
Right.
is not one size fits all. Therefore, it's such a learning process for me whether I should be thinking about Anthropic for one or whether I should be thinking of Perplexity for the other, Gemini to, and the list is endless. For legal professionals, it is something else. There is that technical learning, but also at the same time thinking about how humans behave and evolve, and how when you do process mapping, you're brought in as this external organization to come help and look at process maps, thinking about it differently, not thinking about it as a technology process at all. Putting the power back in the hands of the people. So my own leadership development is growing every day. So I am like from a baby who doesn't know how to walk, has learned how to walk. I'm running, learning how to run. And I am constantly in this evolution, rapid evolution. And that is where I have grown tremendously. It has been so amazing.
Wow. Oh my goodness. So you go from being totally able to walk and then they go send you back to being a baby again and you got to start learning how to walk all over again. I'm telling you, we've got to learn to adapt and be innovative and be open to learning is what you're saying. Thank you so much. And just to be respectful of your time, one of the things we do on the lounge here is called a lightning round. It's called our lightning lounge round. We're just going to ask really simple questions, just whatever comes to your head. This is supposed to be fun, so don't overthink it. Are you ready?
Ready and excited.
All right. Well, then tell me, what is one word for the future of work?
So many words going off in my head. Exciting.
Oh, exciting. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, AI, is it an opportunity or disruption?
Opportunity.
100%. A leadership skill that is becoming obsolete.
Directional.
Command and control. Yeah, command and control. It's out of here. All right. One human skill that AI can never replace. Heart. Beautiful. All right. And last question, what gives you hope about the future, Radhika?
All of us. The future is fantastic. I mean, look at where we came from. I wasn't obviously born during the Industrial Revolution, but I was here when, I was joining the workforce when the internet was like fully taking over. How exciting, how far we've come. I mean, it is phenomenal to be able to evolve ourselves as humans so rapidly. So I am beyond thrilled for how leadership development is evolving, how we are taking ourselves to levels and notches above in a very short period of time, building on newer skills. And it is a fantastic, fantastic time. And we are not using our time to do mundane tasks, but to do higher end tasks. AI can take care of that.
I love
Oh,
it. Radhika says, "What a time to be alive, everyone. We get to live in the future." I like to joke, Radhika, that we're living in the Jetsons age. I mean,
yes.
between AI and air fryers, I feel like I'm living in the time of the Jetsons. You can have anything in 2 seconds and AI does some of the mundane tasks for you. So I have enjoyed this conversation. If people want to find you, how can they find you, Radhika, and work with you?
So they can find me on LinkedIn, Radhika Paul. I'm on LinkedIn. They can find me on Lumen AI Consulting.ai. Please find me. I'd love to connect. I'd love to answer questions. I do this all day long. So I love it. I think this has been phenomenal, Rachel. There is so much amazing work you're going to do, I know, in this era. Um, and I am just so excited to continue to Uber collaborate with you. You know, it is a time of great collective intelligence. So thank you. And I know we will all continue to lead more with our heart and really make this AI journey human.
Make it human, everyone. Make the AI journey human. And thank you so much for joining us. I will put contact information in the show notes for everybody so you can find Radhika quickly. We'll include her website, her social media handles, and mine as well. So thank you for joining us at the Leadership Lounge, and we'll see you next time. Thank you, Radhika.